All right, to maximize my fun this NFL season, I'm once again participating in fantasy football. Now, this is my third year doing this, so I'm still kind of new to the game. I'm slowly learning my way through how this process works and how to be the best coach or manager I can possibly be. So for the past 3 years, I've been using online apps like Sleeper or the ESPN's fantasy app and playing with friends and, really enjoying myself. Now, have I won anything yet? No, I think the last 3 years I've come in third/fourth place respectively each time, and the frustrations mount wherever they lie. I'm just working out the kinks of what making this team or making my team the best it ever was. But this year, I'm changing it now. I'm just finished drafting my team for this year, and I'm gonna have you guys follow along with me. So let's get looking at what we've got built so far. So here we have my team for this year, the Carolina Reapers. My intention was obviously to grab Tedero McMillan as one of my favorite players and potential breakouts this year. But like every year happens, for some ungodly reason, I get a horrible draft pick. I had to pick 13th out of 14th teams, so that put me in the snake draft 13th, second to last, and then second each time. So I'd basically go 2 rounds of watching everybody good, or everybody in my queue just disappear, because everyone's taking them already. So I got to do what's best. And what's best is just picking anybody that's good available, essentially. When this early in the season, before the season even started, and you're just picking players in your draft, just pick the ones that you feel like are gonna be the number one at the position every single time or every single week. And then from there, who's got the more complete team around them? And that's my mapping process of how I pick my players. So, for example, we've got Lamar Jackson at my QB, which makes sense. He's a dual threat with a great arm, pure athleticism, and some great legs, so he can run and give me some extra points. So I like that there for the rest of the season, and I don't feel like he's going to be injured, God forbid. He's pretty healthy this year because he came off injury last year. So he's got this new offense and new system, and he's apparently really liking it. I hope that translates to more points for me. Ash Agenti, I took a shot at Ash Agenti last year, and I suffered for most of the beginning of the season. I have since then made a referendum to not pick freshman or rookie running backs because they're gonna let me down. But now it's the second year. He's got a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator and a better offensive line that will help him, break through those holes. And he still's got the ability. He did not have the ability. It's just the team around him sucked so much he couldn't, maximize his full potential. This year, the Raiders aren't going to be, the best, but they're going to be better. And thanks to him, it's going to be a good majority of his wins and majority of those points, hopefully touchdowns, coming my way. I've got Saquon Barkley leading that. My running backs are probably my heaviest assets here on this team this year. That's the ones I could manage to pick up. I wanted Derrick Henry in this spot because I like his aversion to injury a little bit more than I like Saquon's. He's a little bit more injury prone, as his history, stated. But, his production hasn't slowed down. The Eagles offense still kind of goes through what Saquon can do, and he's getting a lot of touches all the time. So that accumulates points. And Jalen Hurts isn't the running type of quarterback everyone thinks he is. Those touches are going to go to Saquon, hopefully. My wide receivers are probably my weakest part right now, minus my flex, but we'll get to that. I have DK Metcalf and Brian Thomas Jr. Again, following the rule of you want your supposed number ones or wide receiver ones or running back ones as much as possible. DK Metcalf is supposedly, the wide receiver one for the Steelers. They've got, they've got another guy on the other side, but they're both, the two top dogs, and he's a huge size, good speed, can still catch the ball. You just got to get the ball to him. So, and he puts up good numbers from time to time. He's a bit more streaky. Same thing with Brian Thomas Jr. He's got the ability. His case, he's got to catch the ball. There were so many times I watched last year, he just dropped the ball, and thankfully I didn't have him last year, but I'm sure for managers who did, it was frustrating. He's probably looking to subvert that this year, and then according to reports, the Jaguars want to use him as their X factor on offense, which is a good sign. He's a deep ball threat, and if he catches those deep balls, that equates and equals points. So Tyler Warren, I liked him as his breakout rookie last year. That was Daniel Jones' main target. Tight end is, again, QB's best friend, and he looks like the second coming of a Brock Bowers. He looks like he's going to be a premier tight end in this league, and it's only going to continue. Whether how bad or how good the Colts are going to be, they've got Jonathan Brooks, yes, but you got to throw the ball at some point. At some point, that ball has got to leave the quarterback's hand and go through the air, and it's probably going to go to Warren. Points for me. When I got to flex, I was running out of options. It was really much I'm picking 13th, and everyone's gone. I've got to make do. I like the breakout of Jonathan Brooks. Whatever the Kool-Aid the Carolina Panthers have been serving up to their fans, I've been drinking it. They keep touting Brooks as a breakout and phenomenal during this preseason, and he looks healthy and ready to go, on top of which Chuba Hubbard's dealing with a hamstring injury or hamstring soreness already, and is questionable for week 1. If Chuba Hubbard does deal with injury throughout this year, Brooks is eating all of those snaps. And in the Carolina scheme, that's going to become important. So that's a flex to look out for. It's super low projection scores right now, but I'm sure once the season kicks off, it's all going to even out. I've got the Broncos on defense because they're one of the premier defenses. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. And they, as of this recording, this last preseason game just put the hurt on the Atlanta Falcons. So that's always a good sight to see. And I've got Mr. Reliable, Brandon Aubrey as my kicker. I actually picked him at a higher draft, I think in a higher round than most people pick kickers. But because I know for the past 2 years, out of all the kickers I've ever picked or ever seen played so far, Aubrey is always consistent, always reliable, and it don't matter if it's 48 yards, 38 yards, or sometimes even 50 yards, 50, 52 yards. He's kicking it and sending through the goalpost every single time. I have no concerns or anxiety over Brandon Aubrey, and he can get me 10 points a week alone from the kicker. That's more than sometimes in my flex. He saves weeks. So he was a priority off the bat, hands down. And a season can come down to the likes of the kicker. So let's see how that goes. Now, I thought about if I wanted to cover my bench. My bench is pretty ass, and it's a lot of, just hoping and dreaming on a whim. But I've got Jalen Coker in the wings. He's the second to Teteroa, but he's charged for a breakout. I could probably get 1,000 yards this season if Carolina's offense is as great as I hope it is. Dontavian Wicks, he's the third, wide receiver in the Eagles offense. He's got Devontae Smith and Lemon, their rookie, above him, but both have been dealing with hamstrings in problems over the preseason. And Jalen Hurts has come out in support of Wicks and how his work ethic has, pleased the Eagles. So he may get a spot just by how hard he's been pushing in this offseason. I've got Sam Darnold as my backup QB. Sammy D's throwing to Njigba all season, and he may have a Super Bowl hangover. He may not. He's still got an elite weapon to throw to, and I like his arm. If, Lamar goes down, I don't mind switching out to Sammy. He could put me 20 points. Who knows? Tank Dell is supposedly coming back from all those injuries he suffered in the last couple years. And, whether or not he's healthy is the question. But he was CJ Stroud's main threat or main target when he was healthy. So that alone, if he can come back to snuff and catch up to speed and help their offense ascend, that's only going to be good things. Now he's just got to stay healthy. And lastly, one person I really want to talk about is James Conner. Now, he went down with the dislocated foot in week 3 last season and hasn't played since, and still has continuously not seen any reps in the preseason. But he's coming back at some point. And right now, the running back room in Arizona is a committee-based who wins this spot. You've got Tyler Algier, you've got Connor, and then you've got their rookie Jeremiah Love. Love will be good, but I don't know how the rest of the team will function. And if he doesn't succeed, like most rookie running backs don't, and screw all the fantasy manager over, it may go to Algier. But Algier is a second string Algier is a second string running back at best anyways. Once Connor is healthy and he's up to snuff again, he's probably taking over that backfield as he's done in years prior, which means later down in the season when the going gets tough and you're looking for someone to compensate, you need a better flex, he might be the one. Again, a lot of my bench this year is hoping and dreaming on a player and keeping my fingers crossed, but I hopefully don't have to go to my bench because my starters seem, I feel, are pretty good. Now, this is the biggest league I've been in. It's 14 teams, so it's more opportunities for me to win because no one has a juggernaut team. God, I've gone against leagues where, there's 10 of us, and some guy just knows what he's doing more than anybody else and just has a monster team, and he can go 10-0 in a season before getting his first loss, and then the disparity between first and second and third is so high you can never come back. But this year's going to be different. This year, Coach Hunt will be at the very top of Championship Mountain, and I'll keep you guys tuned in throughout the season of my progress. Thanks for watching, y'all.